Have you ever heard a song so haunting it gets under your skin? What if that song came from a place it shouldn't, like the bottom of a lake? And what if, when the singing started, all the children in your town simply vanished? This is the chilling reality that befell the sleepy, lakeside town of Haven. One crisp autumn evening, as mist curled over the still, black water of Serenity Lake, a melody began to rise from its depths. It wasn't a frightening sound, not at first. It was beautiful, ethereal, like a choir of silver bells. The townsfolk, drawn from their homes, gathered at the shore, mesmerized. The tune was simple, ancient-sounding, and it seemed to promise a world of wonder and joy, a world without worries. But as the final notes faded into the night, a horrifying silence replaced them, a silence broken by the dawning, panicked realization of every parent in town. They called out names into the darkness. Lily, Sam, Chloe, but there was no answer. Every single child in Havenwood, from the toddlers to the teenagers, was gone. Panic erupted. The sheriff organized search parties, flashlights cutting through the dense woods surrounding the lake. They scoured every inch of the town, every house, every back alley, but it was as if the children had been erased from existence. There were no signs of a struggle, no broken windows, no footprints leading away, just empty beds and toys left scattered on the floor. The only clue was the song, the strange, beautiful, terrible song from the lake. The next night, it returned, the same ethereal melody, rising with the mist. This time, however, the adults weren't mesmerized. They were terrified. Some plugged their ears, others ran, but the tune seemed to seep directly into their minds. It was hypnotic, pulling at them, whispering of a reunion with their lost children. It promised that they were safe, that they were happy, in a beautiful place beneath the water. Old Man Hemlock, the town's eccentric historian, was the only one who didn't seem surprised. He'd spent his life collecting local folklore, stories the rest of the town dismissed as superstition. He brought out a dusty, leather-bound journal, its pages filled with spidery script. He pointed to a passage that made everyone's blood run cold. The legend spoke of the lake sirens, ancient spirits bound to Serenity Lake. It said they slept for a century at a time, but when they awakened, they would sing to lure the town's most precious souls, the children, into their watery kingdom. The legend claimed the children weren't harmed, but were kept in an enchanted slumber, a timeless playground beneath the waves to keep the sirens company. Desperate, the townsfolk clung to this sliver of hope. They had to get their children back. But how do you fight a song? How do you reason with spirits from a forgotten age? The legend offered only one cryptic clue. The sirens' power was tied to the purity of their song. If the melody could be broken, if a sound of true, selfless love could overpower it, the enchantment might be shattered. What could possibly be that powerful? A mother's lullaby, a father's heartfelt promise, the combined will of an entire town, desperate to save its future. They didn't know, but they had to try. As the sun began to set on the third night, the parents of Havenwood gathered once more at the edge of the lake. They weren't there to listen this time. They were there to sing back. As the first ghostly notes rose from the water, a single voice cut through the air. It was Mrs. Gable, Lily's mother, singing the lullaby she'd sung to her daughter every night since she was born. Her voice was trembling, filled with sorrow, but it was pure. Then another voice joined her, and another. Soon, the entire shore was filled with the sound of lullabies, favorite songs, and nursery rhymes, a chorus of love and memory directed at the silent lake. The siren's melody began to falter. The two sounds clashed in the night air, the ethereal, perfect notes of the spirits against the raw, imperfect, but deeply human voices of the parents. For a moment, it seemed the sirens would win. Their song grew louder, more demanding, trying to drown out the townsfolk. But the parents held firm, their love for their children a shield against the enchantment. And then, something incredible happened. A new sound emerged. It wasn't from the lake, and it wasn't from the parents. It was a faint, childish hum, coming from the center of the lake. The parents' songs had reached them. The children were waking up. As the first small head broke the surface of the water, then another, and another. The siren's song died with a final, mournful sigh. The children, dazed but unharmed, began to swim towards the shore, towards the loving arms of their parents. Havenwood got its children back that night. The lake has been silent ever since. The townsfolk never forgot the song from the deep, or the lesson they learned. They learned that some legends are real, and that there is no magic more powerful, no song more true, than the love a parent has for their child. It's a force that can reach into the deepest darkness and bring the lost ones home. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think of the story of Havenwood? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy tales of mystery and folklore, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this one. We'll see you in the next video. Stay safe,